So let's make sure you're in the right place on the right Zoom. Thank you, Michelle. This may just be for you. Cool. Take it. Right? So welcome to the For the Love of Self, or FLO, FLO for short, masterclass. This is honestly, ladies, um, or gentlemen, if you're out there listening, this is where success means nothing if you're burnt out, stressed out, or emotionally checked out. So my goal for today and always when you are in my space, whether we're on the square together, whether we're on the phone together, whether I'm on stage or I'm presenting or you're in a workshop, I always want you to leave feeling inspired, empowered, and ready to take action. So that's what we are going to talk about today. All right. So, Michelle, this is just maybe you and I. I do always like to start with a little fun. My question for today, and I ask this question a lot because I don't know, I just think it's fun. What, if you could put in the chat, what is your favorite ice cream? Sounds silly, right? Because it's winter, but I just always like to be like, okay, let's put it in there. And Allie P, yeah, caramel cashew. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Mine is mint chocolate chip. Like it is my for sure go-to 100% of the time. All right. And then the next question, and then you can just listen in. Then it's free time for you to work on you. Um, Put in the chat what you do for work. Put in the chat what you do for work. Put in the chat what you do for work. Anybody who can do that, do it. We need to know. Oh, I see we've got some people who popped on here. We need to know because we never know in this group. Secure resources for Carroll University. Yes, she does. Nice. Okay, anybody who just popped on, we're just doing, don't worry, I don't make you talk, but we were just putting in the chat our favorite ice cream and what we do for work. Because I love ice cream and it's good to know what we do for work because you never know where we can connect. All right, so little introduction because some of you this may be your first time here. So, welcome to all my repeat offenders and my FLO for the love of super fans and anyone that is new to the FLO community. Thank you for showing up. This is going to be super fun. My name is Kim Rogne. I am the owner and founder of For the Love of, again, or FLO, FLO. Yes, Peppermint Bonbon. We got in here a realtor. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Where I am currently a keynote speaker, a motivational speaker, a high performance coach, and an author. So I get this all the time, besides just that whole little title weirdness, right? More like when I'm networking, like, what do you do? Well, I mean, that was just a whole lot of like, who's going to say all that? Here's simply what I do. This is what I need you ladies to hear. I help women find more balance, more focus, and more success without burnout with my system for the love of self. It's not just a journal, it's a system. And when I say balance, that's what it means to you is that time. Usually, when we're talking about balance, it really is time related. But is it what do you want to do with that time? More for your family, yourself? I want to take a shower in peace. I'd love to go, play tennis, whatever it might be. And when we talk about focus, I mean, hello, we're in a world where like stuff is dinging all the time, right? And so the only way we can find more balance, especially as working women, which you all are, is we have to be really focused at work. And then, of course, success without burnout. I have coached way too many women that either they own their own business or they're in a leadership role like Michelle here, and they're resentful of their job, their work, whatever. It doesn't mean you can't reinvent yourself later on. We can reinvent ourselves every morning, every month, whatever. But that's the point of this system. So everything that I do when I am speaking, when I'm holding a workshop, everything starts with the For the Love of Self system. So whether you have the workbook or the actual journal system itself, because again, I'm calling it a system because it's so much more than just a journal. Today, I'm going to give you an introduction or bring you back to the basics of how to use it. And if you've been here for a little bit and you show up every month, I want to encourage you guys to show up here every month for this masterclass because you will show up as a different version of yourself, and I will show up as a different version of myself. And so each month, I usually have a theme. I might bring something new based on my personal coaching, my studying of brain science and habits and mindset. You will always walk away with something different. And this system is it's robust. This master class could be 3 hours. That's how robust this system is. So today you don't need to take it all, just whatever resonates with you. Okay. So this month's challenge, hello, we're in a reset. It's the new year. It is simple. It is simply just the FLO Self System. I'm not going to dig into anything else. You don't, if you don't know it works, you don't know it works unless you use it, right? And so I'm going to give you a challenge so that you can test it. Like see what resonates with you. But I'm going to keep it really simple. This is not about perfection, it's about progress. So we're going to dig in and I'm going to teach you the system so that you can have fun with it. So, okay, here's the deal. Whether you have the classic, this is the classic, whether you have the new, right? New version. Whether you have the workbook, you can use any of them. Whether you have none of it, though you should have gotten the workbook when you registered for this masterclass, you could write in a notebook. I don't really care. They're all the same. Okay. There are three parts to the FLO Self System. Three parts. The first part is the tactical or the logical. It's very, very tactical, the first part, which is the weekly setup. Okay. This part, once you kind of figure it out and you figure out what works for you, you have to trust me on this. I have tested it over and over again. It should only take you 10 minutes. Okay. It's super simple, easy. You're getting it started at the beginning of your week. Okay. We'll dig in a second. The second part that I'm going to go over is how to shut up your bleep bleep of a brain. If you follow me, sometimes you hear me use the a-hole word because she ain't your friend sometimes, right? She's telling you you're not good enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough, blah, 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 right? This is the emotional, psychological part, okay? And in that second part, in the actual journal itself, or if you have the workbook, that is something that is prepped for you to do 5 times a week. That is, you're doing it before you start your day. You're doing it before you get into your tactical. You're doing it before you get in your email and you get pissed off because somebody sent you some random thing that they're angry about, and then now your whole day is messed up. Or you're on social media and you're like, what is this crap, right? So this is we're going to prime ourselves so we are emotionally, psychologically ready to win our day and feel good about ourselves. Okay. And then the third part is the end of the week or the end of the day. A lot of my people in the FLO community use it differently. Sometimes people use the third part daily, some weekly. This is actually the hardest part for me still, but that part is designed to help you recognize your accomplishments. Because as high achieving women, we will forever have a list of a zillion things because we're dreamers, we own businesses, we are leaders, and we get to the end of the week and we're exhausted and we're like, I ain't get shit done. What happened? Right? This is to change that psychological part in your brain so that you're living in the gain versus the gap. Great book, by the way, The Gap and the Gain. All three of these, like I said, all three could be separate masterminds, separate workshops. So I'm giving you the broad brush. Okay. So let's dig in. All right. Right. Let me get it. Let's talk about it. All right. Starting setup. So these are very purposeful. So first of all, on your starting setup, again, I told you it takes less than 10 minutes. This is before you start your week, whatever that means to you. I tend to do mine Sunday night or Monday morning. If you are challenged and you have youngins at home and you're like, I don't have a morning, Kim. What are you talking about? Like, I remember being there. This is you're going to go and put either your workbook, your journal, whatever it is on your computer, and you're going to have to build the habit not to open up your computer before you get your weekly setup. Period, bar none. We want to be here with intention. Okay. Again, remember, this is the tactical part. This is based on research from other people that are way smarter than me. Okay. So I didn't make all this up. I just put my own FLO terms in here. So I have in here the first question is one positive thing I want to remember this week. This is again, we're priming. We're going to prime that a-hole of a brain of yours, right? We're going to prime it. Put it in there. Doesn't matter. It's yours. So the first part is I get to focus on these three big rocks, right? What are my three big rocks for the week? And I said the week, right? It's just the week, you guys. I get to work towards the following big rocks in my life. The other thing I want you to understand, which I don't know if these words are in the workbook, but they are in the journal, it says in my life. It doesn't say just at work, it says in my life. Okay. I'm not going to lie, this part 80% of the time, it's work related. But sometimes it's like, oh, that's right. I got to really, I don't know, I pay for my own health insurance, right? It's like, oh, we had to like apply by December 15th or whatever it was. Maybe it was like, get your crap together and do that thing, right? That's a big rock. Okay. Now, how you win with this part, and my coaching clients know this because I teach you then the layer that goes with this is we have to time block for those big rocks. We got to actually put them in our schedule, right? So that's how that part works. And then underneath there, there's something called professional pebbles, personal pebbles, relational pebbles, and then the nitty gritty. This system itself is truly based on the Stephen Covey system or what he taught, which is around big rocks, right? It's literally like you have a jar, and if you put the rocks in first, the most important things, you could then the pebbles in the sand will filter down. But if you do it the opposite way, which most of us do, we just check, check, check off the list, or we're like, oh, look, I got a dopamine hit. I cleaned my email, right? That's brain science for you. Most of us start with the sand and the pebbles. This is to teach you not to start with the sand and the pebbles, okay? This is the tactical part. This is the piece when we talked about, I want to make sure I help you find more balance, focus, and success without burnout. This is part of the focus piece. When we work on the focus piece, then the balance comes afterwards. Okay. And again, this is a very broad brush. We talk about this very, very deeply in a lot of our coaching sessions. That's how you utilize this part. You got to test it, you got to make it your own. Whenever I share tips at how I use it, or some of my other coaching clients use it, in the end, this is a system. Anytime you hear about a system or a model, it's just a blueprint. And now you have to test it. So that is going to be part of my challenge for you until we meet next month is you have to go and use it and test it and make it your own. Okay. And then you know what you're challenged with, but you don't know until you try. And here's the thing. The whole point of the starting setup too is there's something called mind share energy, especially as women. Sorry, I'm unmarried to my husband. We're coming up on 29 years and he is amazing. I love him dearly. I don't know how he puts up with me because I think being passive aggressive is a sport. I'm working on it, right? But the thing is, women, it's biologically known that women carry the weight of the world on their brains. We think differently. It's okay. We also, when we get together as women, we actually share details, right? We share what's working for us, right? We're an amazing species. I don't know. Seriously, if there weren't for women in this world, I think the world would just be women. Men need us. So I'm not me here to man bash. Don't get me wrong. I love my man, but I need you to hear this. We are different. So part of the starting setup is to save your mind share energy. Get the crap off your brain on a piece of paper, period. Stop trying to just remember. Stop trying to wake up in the middle of the night and throw a sock across the floor thinking, oh, when I trip over that sock, then I'll remember I need to schedule that dentist appointment. Am I the only one that does that? You wake up in the middle of the night, you try to leave yourself a sign. Okay, now let's talk about the second part. Remember, the second part is the emotional part, right? The second part is the mindset part. And so these prompts have been studied. Each one of these prompts could be a workshop in itself. It's insane at the setup, but they are literally there to set your spirit, to set your mind, your heart, and your actions. Because we can get all woo-woo all day long, but we also got to get to work, right? So again, this is the daily part. If you can do this 5 days a week, or however, if you work full-time 3 times a week, do it 3 times a week. I don't care, right? Or maybe you just start now and you're like, I haven't been doing this at all. I just want to do it twice, right? You got to build up to it. We're not running a marathon overnight. But this is something I call the daily flow state, FLO, for the love of self. This is for you. So again, I start with something I wish to note today. This is beautiful. Any of my ladies between the ages of 35 and 50, like there's a lot we could note. I don't know. I didn't sleep last night. I had wine the night before. Like, what happened? I used to be able to drink wine when I was in my 20s and I would be doing just fine, right? This could be a whole area where you're analyzing how you're actually feeling. We don't take enough time to actually feel to be able to make changes. So maybe you're noting that, or maybe you're just noting anything you want, like it's your birthday and you're amazing. Okay, so we've got today I will release. Today I will release. That's purposeful. What is weighing on you and feels very heavy? There is no wrong or right. You get to write whatever you want in there. I'll be honest with you, when I started following this system, oh gosh, this is going to be my fourth year now as the owner of FLO. I released the same thing every day for like a really long time. I was like, just let it go. Let it go, girl. When are you going to let that crap go? Right? It doesn't matter. And I'll be honest, some days I feel really good. And I might note something I wish to do today. I'm like, God, I'm feeling like $1,000,000. I am feeling like I could take on the world. And you want to know what? I don't have anything to release. So I skip it. I'm like, I'm not going to go and dig up something that I need to let go of when I'm feeling really good. So, no rules. And then I give you the prompt, breathe out. This is on purpose. This is based on research on when we are working on rewiring our brain and that neuroplasticity, which is the purpose of this activity when we're talking about our psychological mindset. We know that when we actually write, okay, and we actually couple it with an action, it actually helps rewire the brain even tighter. That's the point of like you write it out. Imagine now saying it out loud and then you breathe it out. Okay. Next is today I will take in gratitude for. I'm going to take it in. And that one has the prompt to breathe in. We know based on research, gratitude is one of the greatest gifts that can change the way that our neuroscience works in our body. We know it. It's been proven time and time again. You guys are all growth minded. I am sure I'm not telling you anything new. Okay. You decide. What do you want to write there? Doesn't need to be huge. It can be tiny. It can be huge. It can be small. Then the next one is my core focus today is, and I've got a little prompt there to center myself. My core focus today is, I remember in the beginning, I used to use this prompt as like an action, but now sometimes I just use it however I need it. So maybe my core focus is to believe in myself. Maybe my core focus is to concentrate on my word of the year, which is strong. Maybe my core focus is, maybe it is an action, like when I'm starting to feel bored, not go on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. You get to decide, is it a feeling? Is it an action? It's what you need at the moment so that you can set your brain ready to focus on that. And then here we go. We got our second part of the flow. We've got some people like to write out their word of the year or the season or project. So I just give you some lines there. I will remember my word today by, but if you don't do that, don't use it. Skip it. Doesn't matter. Okay, so our next one is to set your mind. Today I get to. Today I get to. I get to, I get to, I get to, and not I have to. Not I have to. Not I have to. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Today I get to go lift weights. Today I get to make dinner. Today I get to schedule the appointment. Today I get to create the PowerPoint for my next presentation because, let's be honest, I'm super grateful that somebody hired me to speak, right? Today I get to. You get to decide what to put in there, and it's just changing the wiring. Because when we say the word I have to, again, that's adding more weight on our shoulders. We're like, oh, good Lord, I have to. Right? I have to do the laundry. No, I get to do the laundry because I work from home. Right? Yay for me. I can throw in the laundry. Okay. Next one is to set your heart. This is the I am, or your affirming statement or your affirmation statement. I teach this one a lot of different ways, lots and lots of different ways. So recently I had heard one of the favorite people that I follow in regards to mindset is Rob Dial is his name. He has a podcast called The Mindset Mentor. He wrote the book Level Up. He was talking about recently about what's really hard about affirmations. For some of us, there is no right or wrong, right? You have to test it when you hear all these ideas. he was talking about the hardest part about affirmations is psychologically, your brain actually doesn't know the difference between the truth and what's false. It really doesn't. You think it does, but it doesn't. Okay. And so he was talking about the problem is, though, sometimes when we're saying an affirmation or an I am statement, like a future statement, right? I am um, 150 pounds, right? Like, let's say I was looking to lose 30 pounds, right? I am 150 pounds and healthy and blah, 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 blah. The hard part is we don't believe it. So I loved this as an addition to this statement that I just learned about. I am working on building my savings so that I have financial freedom and can retire in 5 years. So it's instead of saying that you're actually there yet, you're reaffirming that you're working on it. I am making smart choices and deciding not to drink alcohol on school nights so I can show up my very best with my clients, right? Maybe that's something you're working on. A lot of my coaching clients are like, how do I reduce, right? Because I know that I show up as my best self when I haven't drank the night before, right? We're not doing all or nothing. It all depends if you are. Some of you are doing dry January, some of you don't drink at all, which is amazing, right? But we know that this is a societal thing that's hard. So that might be a different way. Or maybe you just put in your word of the year, I am strong, I am healing. You get to decide. Again, you don't know what works for you until you test it. Maybe you got to write out the same thing every day. And then the last one is to set your actions. Of course, we got to actually do things. I mean, I don't know if somebody discovers they write these things out and they put this journal under their pillow at night and things happen, even though they get to lay in bed all day, please let me know. Hasn't worked for me yet. You could get the Peloton, but not go on it. But if you just sit and like bow at it, you're actually going to lose weight. That's not how it works. So this one is I will. This is your accountability to your intentions, right? I will make 5 calls. I will send 5 thank you notes. I will call my mom. I will, whatever. It's an action, right? I will do 10 minutes I'll do a 10-minute walk today in between my appointments, right? Whatever it might be. That's it. That's your daily. There's so much research behind each one. No time to dig in today, but do that every day. I have timed it over and over and over again. I have literally timed it in a group setting like this with my group coaching clients. Set a timer when my group clients were not done with it, even though they're supposed to do it every day, right? And it is always 100% of the time taken less than 5 minutes. Oh, what do you mean? In 5 minutes, I can be my best self? Yeah, it says on the journal how to change your mindset in just 5 minutes a day. Even if you choose just to do this part for the next month, just do this. Or pick one journal entry that you really like and you're like, I just really have to do my I am statement. I don't care. But you have to try it. You have to see what it feels like and how you show up differently when you do it versus you don't. Okay? All right. And then our last section, my hardest part, slow down to speed up. If you cannot tell, it's very hard for me to slow down. Right? I mean, I'm trying to fit a pea pod. As what do I say? I try to fit a freight train of information into a pea pod right here in 30 minutes, and we're almost done. Okay, slow down to speed up. Again, psychologically, we did a little research on kind of some questions to prompt you, but maybe you don't need them. So it says, consider the following questions or simply free journal about the past week and its discoveries. This is so you can actually have a little mini celebration and pat yourself on the back. We know that we are better people and we show up better in all areas of our life when we actually recognize that we are accomplishing our goals versus just adding another one. So, what was a win this week? How did I leave my comfort zone this week? How did I help this week? Who or what impacted me this week? What opportunities for growth have I discovered this week? And then there's free journal pages. So like sometimes people just like to do a little reflecting. Now, I'd love to say that this will only take 8 minutes or 9 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes. This section is the most personal section of all the sections, right? This is what works for you. Again, I have some clients who they like to do this every night. I have some that actually use the their own journal because they're more form journalers and they like to get all the crud out of their brain and they do that daily. It doesn't matter. It's yours. You get to do with it what you want. I have some people that put their grocery list there. It's yours. You get to decide. So, okay. This was the basics. This is the basics of the journal. This is the basics of what I coach about. Here's the deal. I cannot thank you guys enough, right? I want to end it with this. Here's what I want you to hear. You are good enough. You are smart enough. You have all the knowledge, all the experience, all the resources. You literally have everything that you need to become the version of yourself you want to be in 2026. Now, just go take this simple action. Go decide what resonated with you today. Take the FLO Self Challenge for the next month, commit to something, and then come back here next month. Probably next month, seeing as it's February, I might have a focus around like relationships. I'm not really sure. And oh, by the way, for those of you that are already part of my FLO coaching community, whether that's one-on-one or group, or you're part of the basic, I'm going to dip my toe in the water, as I call it, idea of coaching, and you're part of just kind of the low touch FLO coaching club, I want to thank you. You are literally the reason I get up every day and why I love what I do so much. And I want to also challenge you. Again, I talked about show up every month. Like if you go to my calendar where you book this to begin with, you could book every single month so that it's at least on your calendar for the rest of the year. Okay. Um, this workshop itself or mastermind is really just a taste of the transformation you can literally experience with my coaching. I coach to 12 areas of your life with my new FLO Self Assessment. What are the 12 areas? They're emotional, mindset, health, physical, family, friends, social circle, you, meaning self, your spouse, partner, your mission work, your job, your job, your finances and freedom, right? Adventures, play, creativity, expression, and fun, your spirituality, giving, and environment. Because you are a whole human. You are a whole person. And how you show up everywhere matters, right? And yeah, there's never a perfect balance in all of those. Who are we kidding, right? And so if you truly want something different in 2026, you actually have to do something different. You already showed up here, and some of you are already part of my FLO community, right? But here's the deal. I have lots of options at all different levels. So if this is like, oh, this is cool, this is exactly what I need, just reach out to me. Let's schedule a quick 30-minute Zoom and get on there so we can talk about it. Like, I'm not a fit for everybody. I know that, and I'm okay with that. But I am a fit for a lot of women that are feeling one, they need clarity, they're looking to make a change, there's something they know that they want more in their life, right? Or if you know of anybody who's looking for a speaker or a trainer, I'm booking a lot of stuff for 2026 right now as we speak. So I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and have an amazing 2026. Like for the love of the name of my company, so you can fill in the blank. You get to decide what that means to you. Okay? TGI Friday. Keep being amazing, and we'll see you all next month. Bye.